This new video shows the minutes after孟晚舟arrival at Vancouver International Airport last December on her way to Mexico, the same day she was arrested for extradition to the U.S. Hours and hours of footage show Meng detained in a secondary screening area as officers go through her luggage. Her lawyers filed the video with BC Supreme Court as part of a proceeding set to take place next month.
The question that all of these videos pose really is, when is it appropriate for Canada Border Services to detain someone that they knew they were going to arrest anyway?
The moments captured here could prove critical to the extradition case. Meng has claimed that the RCMP and Canada Border Services Agency coordinated with the FBI to have her arrested as part of a, quote, covert criminal investigation. Newly released documents show Meng told officers she was surprised that she was being arrested. "You're saying I committed fraud in the United States?" Meng is quoted in the transcript as saying, "You're saying because of my company, you're arresting me." The documents show Meng asked several times to speak with family members and appeared worried that she was going to be sent to the United States immediately. Her lawyers claim she was held for hours before being officially arrested without being told why, and that during that time her devices were seized. If that's true, Meng claims it would amount to a violation of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
The question is, when you arrive at the port of entry, when you arrive at the airport, and they know that they're going to detain you, what's the charade here? 3 hours of interviews, of questioning, of investigation, when really they're going to arrest you and hold you for extradition. Why wasn't that done immediately?
The CBSA and RCMP have denied the allegations. 8 months in, lawyers on both sides will be in court in September, arguing around disclosure related to Meng's arrest and those hours in December after Meng stepped off a plane and into an international tug-of-war. Tanya Fletcher, CBC News, Vancouver.
Now, those videos and new documents are all coming out just ahead of Meng's extradition hearing to face fraud charges in the U.S. Now, the CBC's Jason Proctor has been following this case from the beginning and was at BC Supreme Court this afternoon. So, Jason, the documents shed new light on the plans for her arrest.
Yeah, Andrew, this is one of the most intriguing parts of this whole new documentation dump that we've seen today. It seems that, according to Meng's lawyers, there was initially a plan for the officers at the airport to go right onto the plane and arrest her sort of as soon as it arrived in Vancouver on December 1st, 2018. Something changed, they say, in the hours and, the night before her actual arrival that saw her instead detained for 3 hours, roughly, by CBSA, they allege in violation of her charter rights, instead of that plan. And they want the documentation, the notes, the texts, the emails that they say that went back and forth between CBSA and RCMP and American authorities that led to that change.
And Jason, I mean, the consequence of all of this is painfully obvious, right? I mean, it's rocked Canada-China relations. So what happens now?
Well, essentially, there's a lot of pressure on many fronts to try to come to some type of diplomatic solution with regards to this. But the problem for Canada's point of view is that it's a fairly intractable issue in that Canada says it's a rule of law country, and what's actually happening here is a fairly routine extradition request on the part of a neighbor and an ally.
All right, Jason Proctor will continue following this. Thanks so much.